Hey guys, Jimmy Broadbent here, and I am here at the Silverstone circuit with DRIVETRIBE to help celebrate Renault's new release of the RS Megane and its integration into the Project Cars 2 simulator. And personally, as a sim racing YouTuber, it is great to see Renault pick up esports like this. To celebrate this, DRIVETRIBE have an awesome series of videos coming up for you guys to let you know how you can get involved in esports yourself. Hey guys, Jimmy here with DRIVETRIBE, and we're at the Silverstone circuit, specifically at the Renault stand today, and we're going to show you something a little bit special. Renault have put a bunch of their cars into the Project Cars 2 simulator, and I'm going to show you guys how you can drive them. Let's do it. So first thing that you might notice is that this rig looks pretty serious, and you might think, well, I haven't got the money to do any of this Project Cars 2 malarkey. Wrong. You can be just as effective a driver with a gamepad in this game. So let's begin our Project Cars 2 adventure. As you can see, we are on the vehicle select screen, and you can see that Renault have put a fair number of their cars into this game. Just to name a few, we have the Alpine A442B, which is the 1978 Le Mans winner. Really awesome to see a car of this sort of historic value in the game. We have a Formula Renault car, which is essentially a very fast open wheeler for you open wheel downforce enthusiasts out there. We have a Megane Rallycross car, as well as a Megane V6 and a GT3. So a really good wide range of cars here. Me, myself, I'm going to be choosing the Renault Clio Cup car. The Renault Clio Cup, of course, a very popular series here in the UK. The reason for that is because it's a little bit of a beginner car. We don't want to be running before we can walk. Now, a big perk of Project Cars 2 is we have all the info about the car on screen in front of me here. So I know it's a front-wheel drive car, so instantly I know how I have to approach this car when driving. Now, I've got a couple of tips for you guys who are maybe playing along at home that you need to really think about when starting off. First tip I should say is don't be afraid of driving assist. They are there to help you learn. There's a bit of a stigma in sim racing, I think, sometimes to those who will usually maybe who might use an assist to help them get around the circuit, but don't worry, it's there to help you. You can always turn it off when you feel you don't need it anymore. On the subject of assist, my second tip is to use the driving line. A lot of people aren't really aware of what a racing line is or how you actually construct a racing line around a circuit. Luckily, the driving line does that for you, shows you where to brake, where to accelerate, and where to turn in. A really great tool. And the third thing is to go and learn the circuit before you start pushing the car. It's really important to have a good knowledge of the track you're on, where to push, where to be patient, in order to really squeeze out that last little bit of lap. So to recap very quickly, first of all, do not be afraid of using driving assist. They're there to help you. Secondly, try the racing line, it will help you learn the track. And thirdly, when you have learned the track, and only when you've learned the track, then you can push. So let's go and put those tips in action now on the Silverstone circuit. So we're just going to very quickly show you how to turn on some of these assists if you need them, of course. We are in the options menu here. We're going to go into gameplay, and you can see that Project Cars 2 has varying different levels of assistant here. So we can turn driving assist to full, anti-lock brakes, we'll put that on high just for the video. Stability control, we'll leave that on as well, and of course traction control. So all those little things are on now. So I've just gone over now to on-screen guides and display. Second one down is driving line. Put that to always, and that will then put the line on the circuit, which will show you where to accelerate, where to brake, and really help you get round if you don't know where you're going. So with all those bits on now, let's go for a drive, shall we? Right, okay, so here we are in the pit lane at the Silverstone GP circuit. We're not actually very far away from this part of the track right now here in real life, so just coming out of the circuit now. What we're going to be doing is doing one out lap and coming back into the pits just to show you what you can expect from Project Cars 2. So there is the green cones indicating that we are now in control of the car. We're using the flappy paddles here, using manual gears. Again, you don't actually have to use those, and there straight away is that racing line. You can see it's green, so indicating that we can accelerate, and now it's going red, so we have to hit the brakes, Be very careful on the way out, and that's another tip I would like to give to you, especially in these front-wheel drive cars, even with traction control, is do not mash the throttle and brake. Driving in real life and in simulators is about subtlety, so be very soft on the throttle and brake, and that will help you get through the corners with a little bit less drama. So we're coming down the back straight now. Something else I would like to mention in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is that the tyres, you can see down there, they are all currently blue, which means they are cold. Project Cars 2 is a proper simulator, which means you have to come out the pits, warm your tyres before you can go for a fast lap. Right now they are blue, so they are cold, so not quite where we want them to be. But if you're going to go for a hot lap, maybe have a couple of practice laps first. So we're now coming by the old pit straight, coming up to one of the coolest corners at Silverstone, which is called Cops, which is a very fast right-hander. Again, luckily for us, we have the line on so we can see where we're going. Just a little dab of the brakes on the way in. Still fifth gear, you can see, oh, even with the traction control there and the ABS and stability control, the car still getting loose. So simulators are far from an arcade game. It's very important to pay attention to what the car and the track is telling you. Coming through Magnus and Beckett's now. Again, we're just cruising out here. This is what you want to be doing on your first couple of laps. Just really be easy with it, learn where the track goes. Now, of course, I've been driving in sims for a very long time, so I know Silverstone very well, so this is easy for me, of course, but for you, learning a new track can be quite difficult, so don't be afraid to give yourself that time. Coming down the hangar straight now, and you might notice as well that I'm waiting until I get to the red line on my HUD there to shift. That's also important. You've got to try and make the most of the power of your engine. You don't want to be shifting down or shifting up too soon, otherwise you're going to lose engine power and lose a little bit of time. So we're going to come back into the pit lane now and just finish off our lap. Well, that was a lap of Silverstone there with a couple of tips to help you guys hopefully get into the swing of Project Cars 2. Now it's your turn.